In the past few weeks, the golf world has been buzzing with a different kind of noise, the clink of coins and the rustle of dollar bills. It's the hidden game of golf where the greens are not just for putting, but also for betting. Today, on Good Bogey Golf, we're driving into the heart of the sport, where the stakes are high even before the first tee off. We're talking about the gambling culture in golf, the recent PGA Tour gambling suspensions, and what this means for the future of the game. On top of that, we will treat you with the top highlights coming from the DP World Tour and the LPGA's Maybank Championship. And let's not forget that Phil Mickelson signed back into the Twitterverse. A little fire in his tweets, or should we say X's. So without further ado, let's dive into the past month's top stories and highlight some of the best performers. First up, the Jake Staiano and Vince India gambling story. So what happened exactly? Well, Staiano and Vince, both professional golfers, placed bets on professional play and got caught doing it. Now, the bets weren't on any matches they were playing in or had any control over. While little details are out about Vince India, we know he was suspended for a total of 6 months. For Staiano, who spoke out about the incident, details have emerged and boy, are they juicy. The first wager he bet was on a specific hole that Bryson DeChambeau would birdie in a tournament on a par 5. Then he doubled down with 3 more bets on DeChambeau during his heated face-off with Brooks Koepka in an exhibition match in Las Vegas. 4 bets tallied up to a whopping $116.20, less than what some folks drop for a round of golf on the weekend. But here's the kicker, that $116.20 got him a 3-month timeout from the game. For a PGA Tour pro, taking 3 months off is like a long vacation. But for Staiano, trying to make his mark and get back on the Korn Ferry Tour, it is a major setback. It's like he's been benched right in the middle of the playoffs. So what's the deal with these suspensions? Is it fair play or did they overshoot the green? Well, to be fair, the PGA Tour has made it clear that betting is strictly prohibited. So when players take the chance, they know the potential consequences. Staiano owned up to his actions and acknowledged the policy was crystal clear, admitting he had crossed the line. But you see, in the golfing world, betting is as common as sand traps and water hazards. It's just part of the game. From the sun-up practice rounds to the high-stakes matches at swanky country clubs, golfers love to spice things up with a little side action. So when the PGA Tour drops the hammer on players for betting, it feels a bit like this punishment seems, well, a tad over the top. Sure, rules are rules, but when the rulebook seems out of touch with the day-to-day reality of the game, you've got to wonder if it's time for a rewrite. Now, moving on from the top story, what about the highlights from the past few weeks? Let's talk winners first, because this week, the victory lap belonged to Celine Boutier at the LPGA's Maybank Championship. She battled it out on the playoff marathon, going toe-to-toe with Atea Titikul for 9 solid holes. Boutier's putter was on fire, and she clinched it with a birdie that was nothing short of clutch. Meanwhile, Allison Lee was tearing it up in Saudi Arabia, going bogey-free and leaving the competition in the dust with a jaw-dropping 8-shot win. Over on the men's side, Sami Välimäki nabbed his comeback win at the Qatar Masters. And let's not forget Jasper Stubbs, the Aussie amateur who turned his home course advantage into a golden ticket to the Masters and Open Championships. Talk about dreams coming true. Now, let's tip our hats to the near misses, the almost champions. Rose Zhang, remember that name? She's been laying low since her pro debut win, but at the Maybank, she was back, snagging a T3 finish that's sure to be a confidence booster. On the DP World Tour, it was a nail-biter as Scott Jamieson leapt up through the rankings to keep his card, and Ross Fisher just about hung on by the skin of his teeth, finishing as the last man in. And then there's Alex Knapp, whose emotional finish at 36 helped him keep his tour status. Speaking of tour status, some revelations have come to light on the Twitterverse about the PGA Tour, thanks in part to Phil Mickelson. Lately, Phil Mickelson's thumbs have been busy as his irons. The lefty's not just chipping onto the greens, he's been driving some hard truth straight down the fairway of public opinion. Just a short time after Endeavor's CEO, Ari Emanuel, disclosed his company's investment offer to the PGA Tour, Endeavor's COO, Mark Shapiro, confirmed that the tour had turned down their proposal. Phil wouldn't let this one slide without some clarification. His tweets were, "For clarity's sake, Endeavor didn't try to invest 2 years ago, Silver Lake did. Ari and Endeavor were to run 8 elevated events, and the players and Silver Lake would own the new elevated events 50-50 in a separate entity. But then Ed Hurley shut this down because it wouldn't be 100% owned by the PGA Tour. In Phil's words, he also called this move obnoxious greed. His contention? It's all about the media rights, and according to Phil, the PGA Tour is clutching them tighter than a rookie holds his first trophy. So what's the takeaway? Mickelson's tweets peel back the curtain on a tour more about control than the love of the game, and it's got everyone asking, is it time for a change in leadership, or at least a shift in the game plan? While the PGA Tour is unlikely to change its stance, some players have moved to alternate leagues like LIV, which offer better incentives for players. One of those is Phil himself, which may explain why he is so critical of the PGA Tour. But the PGA Tour has thrown shade at other top players in the LIV League. This brings us to the final story of today. What's the big league's play when it comes to the LIV Golf crew? A polite nod, but no handshake. They're letting some of the LIV players in, but it's clear the welcome mat isn't exactly out. It's a bit like inviting someone to the party, but not then giving them a +1. Sure, you can come, but don't expect to be a part of the family photo. The majors are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Tradition on one side, a whole new golfing world on the other. This dance around the LIV golfers is more than just awkward. It's a sign of the times. Golf's at a crossroads, and the road taken could change the game as we know it. But for now, top players like DeChambeau, Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, Phil Mickelson, and Cameron Smith from LIV Golf have secured their spots in all 4 major tournaments for 2024. On the flip side, Taylor Gooch, despite topping the LIV's earning chart, doesn't have a spot in any of the majors as things stand now. Wrapping up our round today, we've cruised through the fairways and bunkers of golf's complex relationship with betting, the candid world of Phil Mickelson's tweets, and the major tiptoeing around the new kids on the block. It's clear that while PGA Tour is holding onto its rulebook like a caddy with a prized putter, the world around it is playing a different kind of game. So as we sign off, we're left pondering, is the PGA Tour's strict stance on pretty much everything in line with the sport's heartbeat? Or is it time for the old guard to read the green a bit better? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below. And that's another round of Good Bogey Golf. Golf for busy people, where we've got your back, keeping you in the loop no matter how tight your schedule is. And don't forget to swing that like button, share this video with your fellow golf enthusiasts, and subscribe to our channel for quick and easy golf updates. Remember, time may be short, but the game is long. Stay ahead of the curve with Good Bogey Golf. Thanks for watching, keep your eye on the ball, and we'll see you next time.